from England. So, you have to be quarantined.
Quarantined?
Yes.
Okay, come and take my bag.
You and everything that came in with you from England have to be quarantined. If you travel out of the country and you come back, you stay on self-isolation for 14 days so that you don't infect other people. Perhaps there is anything of that virus in your system. If you do not discover any ailment, then you come back home and they will receive you like a family should.
Daddy,
Dad,
don't you love your father anymore?
don't you love your family anymore?
How? COVID-19.
It is real. It is real.
Fourteen-year-old Abigail Hanand, who predicted the outbreak of the deadly coronavirus pandemic, has once again predicted the end date for the global disease. Recorded Abigail on 22nd August 2019, predicted that the world will enter a tough phase starting November 2019 to April 2020, and the 6-month period will see a spread of a global disease and the rise in global tensions, with 31st of March marking the climax of the state. Hanand, according to reports, is a famous Indian prodigy who has been featured on numerous magazines. In 2013, he was interviewed on the Indian Times, where his astrological skills were put to test, and to the amazement of many, his knowledge was considered a child's play. Hanand, based on astrology, considered March 31st to be the climax, citing that Mars will conjunct with Saturn and Jupiter, while Moon and Rahu will also conjunct. Hanand wants everyone to observe the social distancing rule between March 31st and April 1st because the disease will be spread further as the symptoms will increase. President Muhammadu Buhari on Saturday observed the social distancing rule being advocated by the World Health Organization as part of precautions against the spread of the COVID-19 across the world. This rule was observed alongside the Minister of Health, Osage Aniwe, who was at the presidential villa to brief the president on the latest updates on coronavirus pandemic. The minister, who was accompanied by some officials of the Nigerian Center for Disease Control, claimed the president was satisfied with the activities of his ministry and that of the NCDC in regard to the ongoing fight against the spread of the pandemic virus. As at the time of filing these reports, Nigeria has so far confirmed 81 cases, with majority of the cases confirmed in Lagos.
The engagement between President Muhammadu Buhari, the Minister of Health and Director General, Nigeria Center for Disease Control, is coming at a time Nigerians are getting worried over the capacity of the nation's health system to contain the coronavirus pandemic as more people get infected. The president therefore summoned the meeting to find facts with a view to charting the best way forward. The Minister of Health, Dr. Osage Ihanere, spoke to NTA News after the closed-door meeting that lasted about 40 minutes.
It is to answer a few questions that His Excellency had about the health sector, which we took the opportunity to explain further.
So what are the takeaways from here?
Well, the takeaway is that we have been able to clarify a few things which were, let us say, in question regarding the state we are in into the coronavirus disease outbreak in Nigeria.
What did you tell the president?
Done. Sorry?
What did you tell the president?
Well, I explained those problems, the situation, and what the projection will be going forward, and what are the measures which you think will be very necessary at this time.
So what are the measures have you suggested to him?
Well, I will leave that for him to decide. I don't want to disclose that now.
So what did the president tell you?
He wished us very well and told us that we should continue doing the right thing.
It will be recalled that President Muhammadu Buhari recently approved a special intervention fund of 5 billion naira towards equipping and expanding facilities and laboratories of the Nigeria Center for Disease Control.
Former President of Nigeria, Olusegun Obasanjo, on Friday announced that his former residence at the presidential hilltop Abeokuta, Ogun State be used as an isolation center for victims of the dreaded coronavirus disease. Obasanjo said the 32-room facility had been handed over to the Ogun State government for immediate takeover. Special Assistant Media to the former President Kehinde Akeyemi, who confirmed the development, said Obasanjo was concerned about the pandemic and it's a way to assist in this situation. It was gathered that the presidential boulevard Okesari Abeokuta has each of the 32 rooms in suite with a standby generator. The 43 ministers appointed by President Muhammadu Buhari have donated 50% of their March 2020 salaries to support the federal government's fight against coronavirus. This was revealed in a statement by the Minister of Information, Lai Mohammed, who disclosed that the Minister of State for Transportation, Bimsala Saraki, coordinated the donation. Lai Mohammed revealed Bimsala claimed the global virus outbreak will require nations, continents, and smaller communities to pull together to contribute their resources and support one another. The ministers also commended President Muhammadu Buhari for his leadership role in addressing the outbreak as the pandemic case has risen to 81 in Nigeria.